My name is Jeroen van Doornik. I work at StartGreen Capital, and we have been funding clean tech companies for the last 10 years and projects as well, so project developments. As an investor on stage, I thought I would talk about what we could mean for a startup or a company seeking funding, basically what our offering is to startups and entrepreneurs seeking funding. As you all know, you've probably all seen this curve before, the J curve. As you grow your company, you have a lot of different investor types to pick from angel investors to crowdfunding to corporate VCs to venture capitalists. They can all provide you with money, but they all, of course, have different backgrounds and different experience they can bring to you, actually. So as you go along and try to grow your company along this curve, it can be quite a quest and time-consuming adventure to basically find the right investor for you. So thinking of how can you basically find the right investor, what would be a good tool, a good measure if you look at investors? I think it basically that if you look at what they are trying to achieve, or basically why they are trying to achieve something, and then see how far they have come with the achievement so far, then you basically can measure the success of the venture capitalists up until now. Of course, there are other measures, but I think this is a good one. Basically, you can see the track record of the venture capitalist or the investor and see if they can have actually success in achieving the why. So at StartGreen, the reason why we get out of bed each morning is basically because we believe that we need to create a new sustainable and inclusive economy. And in order to do so, we need to fund and back entrepreneurs that have innovations, good teams, good ideas that can bring the sustainable and lasting impact on our environment, basically, on our living environment. So that's our fundamental belief, that we have to back these types of entrepreneurs and companies. And what we try to achieve is, of course, you've all probably seen this kind of pictures, right? The Great Barrier Reef, only the 12-year time span in between, and here you see the effects. What we are trying to achieve is a sustainable and inclusive economy that avoids this type of, or prevents this type of development. You can find all kinds of images across the internet with different views and different developments, such as this one as well. The melting of the ice, longer time span, over 100 years, but still, huge impact. So that's essentially what we are trying to achieve at StartGreen. So how we do it and what we have for tooling, basically, for funds to achieve our goals. We have 4 funds under management, and we manage a crowdfunding platform as well called Oneplanetcrowd. We're very active with these 2 funds, the EFO fund and the PDNA fund. These funds both have, there are small differences, but they have more or less roughly the same focus on solar, biomass, infrastructure, sustainable building development, for example, but also battery technology. We can invest in either solar park developments, or in a solar company. So we have quite a long horizon as well. The teams behind the funds have deep industry knowledge and have a broad investor background. The EFO fund is a fund which supplies debt and equity as well. So there's a banking team behind it as well. And for us, the most essential metrics are basically the CO2 reductions per invested euro, per average invested euro, or the positive net energy effect. So that gives us quite a broad instrument. An average, or basically the range from ticket sizes is also quite broad. We have from a couple 100,000 up to 3.5 million. Being regional funds, it is, of course, necessary to be located in the Netherlands. We started in terms of how far we've come, we started in 2013, and up to now we have been backing almost 10 companies per annual, which is quite a good average. Includes projects as well, of course, which is included in the 30 companies we've backed up until now. So it's actually over 32. They all comply to this metric, and they all are creating sustainable and lasting impact. So in terms of how we've been able to achieve it, that's of course, being a regional fund, your company has to be located in the region, right? But the Netherlands is actually, the ecosystem over here is working. So you have all these kinds of stats and developments you can find anywhere. This one is stating, for example, that we are good at keeping the talent in the Netherlands or attracting talent from outside the Netherlands. So this is, of course, one of the reasons that helps us in creating or backing these 32 companies. But so, as I already mentioned, this is also one, of course, the reason is that we have project financing and venture capital deals. And the project financing is mainly because we have government limited partners, they are backing us, which means that we have a long horizon. We do not need to look for 2 to 5 years, we have a longer horizon. You can imagine that in a solar park, the return on investment the horizon is a lot longer than 5 years, right? You're looking more at 8 to 10 years, for example. So having the limited partner being a government gives us quite a good runway for ourselves, basically. And this one, I think, is more essential. One of the other requirements is that we have to fund companies and projects on a 50-50 basis, which means that we have to attract, basically, other money as well. So we can't fund on our own. That money can come from the crowd. We have done deals basically together with the crowd, but it can be an angel investor, it can come from the entrepreneur side, it can come from other venture capitalists as well. So in a whole, that gives us a broad spectrum of what we can finance and how we can do it right. Because we have equity loans, convertible loans, all sorts of financing instruments, and we can back basically together with friends, family, angel investor. It doesn't really matter as long as it fits into our requirements. And even the crowd, of course, is a new development. Oneplanetcrowd is currently, I think, already backed over 130 companies alone. But it's something that we can fund together. So back to in terms of which funding requirement is right for you. For us to bring a company to the next level, we can either kickstart it by providing and sending out entrepreneurs with a letter of intent that we are interested in sending them out with the 50% already of the funding need in place, or the other way around, so we can match what they bring on the table to us, basically. So bringing company, so actually it's almost as if it's regardless of the type of funding need, we can use the crowd and our funds, which can invest in the early stage and later stages as well, to bring the company to the next level. So we keep adding companies to our portfolio. As said, it's now 32 companies. We are in 2016, so we'd like to keep the rate up. So it's an open invitation as well to reach out. If you are active in this space, my contact details are on the slide. And I look forward to do business with you. Thank you.